Hey girl, hey, and welcome back to Strutting with God with Fernanda Sekira. Thank you so much for joining in another week, either it be through the podcast or through YouTube. I greatly appreciate it. I am on week 6, I think, of quarantine, and I don't know about you, but I have been fighting this urge to bleach my hair. I feel like a lot of women are fighting the urge, or maybe if you've already done it where you just want to dye your hair or cut your hair or give yourself some bangs. You're like, maybe I'll look cute with bangs. Yeah, girl, you look cute. I'm kidding. I think that right now that there's so many people out there looking for just any change, any sort of control, I guess, and they just want to make something that they can make themselves. They just want to look different. They're ready for something different. However, no matter how you look at it, either it be through a haircut or through a hair change or hair dye, etc., these things are just temporary, and we're trying to fix something that is not going to be fixed by what we do. We have no control, and I feel like so many people out there are looking for something that they are able to control. The only thing that we can control is our perspectives of the situation. But it does not change the fact that I want to bleach my hair. I have this complete urge. I'm not going to do it. I've seen plenty of Broadmondo videos where people are bleaching their hair and it's a complete fail, or cutting my hair. And I've been through a lot with my hair, and just now it's getting healthy. It's not as healthy as I want it to be, but you know, come on babies, keep on growing, keep glowing. And I am gonna wait till quarantine is over until I do something with my hair. But I got to thinking about, like giving myself pep talks to not do it. One of them being, it's not going to turn cute. Second one being is I'm going to have to end up going to a salon to get it fixed. 2, it's going to cost a lot of money, not just for the first time, because then my roots are going to start showing. And before, I was a platinum blonde, and I'm like a dirty blonde, light brunette. And however, like even when I have my platinum hair and my roots start showing, my roots look black comparatively to the platinum blonde, even though it is brown hair. And then I'm like, okay, so then every single time I go in there, I'm gonna have to waste 6 hours, because I remembered I would go every 6 weeks, I think. Shout out to Melissa, my hairdresser. You're the bomb. I would go every 6 weeks, and I would take like 4 to 6 hours just doing my hair. So now I'm going to be wasting time, I'm going to be wasting money, I'm just going to be killing off my hair just to have the perception of a light platinum blonde hair. Not worth it. However, then I got to bring it into my studies. I do weekly Bible studies, and I was reading the book of Matthew, and I ran into this story that I thought was really good at first glance. But then I saw the same story in the book of Mark. Now, interestingly enough, they actually have a name for this. When you have the same parable or message or story in one gospel and it's written again in another gospel in a different perspective, those are called synoptic gospels. And so you can get one thing for one gospel and get either a little bit more information or see things differently in another gospel. And that's what I saw today. That's what we're going to go over today with the book of Matthew and the book of Mark. And I kind of want to play in as far as changing things permanently and changing things temporarily. Because I thought about it. If there was a pill that I could take that would change my hair color from the roots, for example, if I wanted to change my hair to a light blonde, I would take this pill and it would change the color of my roots. So instead of my hair on the outside changing, I would change it from the roots. And though you wouldn't see it immediately, slowly but surely my roots will start growing and it will be that blonde that I want naturally. Even though it's going to take longer than the process of me going to the salon or me doing it at home, don't do it, or me doing it at home, it's not going to be permanent. But if there was an option to be permanent, would you rather do the box dye or go to the salon to constantly keep going and keeping it updated and constantly having to worry about your roots showing or not showing how you want to be perceived? Or are you willing to be more patient and willing to take it and start from the root to have that natural looking that you want? You don't have to worry about your roots showing. You don't have to worry about that because it's a permanent change. So I thought about that, of how God works, because we have to remember that God is the Alpha and the Omega. He's the beginning and the end. He doesn't start something in the middle. He wants to start at the root because that's who he is. He wants to be a part of every aspect of your life, starting from the beginning all the way up to the end. So we're going to start first at Matthew 21, verses 18 to 20. It says, "Early in the morning, as Jesus was on his way back to the city, he was hungry." Same. "Seeing a fig tree by the road, he went up to it, but found nothing on it except leaves. Then he said to it, 'May you never bear fruit again.' Immediately, the tree withered. When the disciples saw this, they were amazed. 'How did the fig tree wither so quickly?' they asked." At first glance, you're like, okay, cool, tight. Okay, like, there's nothing more to it. And that's how I saw it at first. How I was like, okay, that's a nice story. Like, he did something and it happened immediately. Like, he's cured he cures lepers, and he made a blind man see again. He cured people who couldn't walk immediately. So why should we be amazed at this tree? It's a tree. He's already done this to humans. But let's take a look at what Mark says. In Mark 11:12-14, it says, "The next day, as they were leaving Bethany, Jesus was hungry." Hungry. "Seeing in the distance a fig tree and leaf, he went to find out if it had any fruit. When he reached it, he found nothing but leaves, because it was not the season for figs. Then he said to the tree, 'May no one ever eat fruit from you again.' And his disciples heard him say it." And like, okay, there's a little bit of difference to it. Like, his homies weren't like excited about it. They just said that they heard him say it. But then it picks up on verse 20-21. And it says, "In the morning, as they went along, they saw the fig tree withered from the roots. Peter remembered and said to Jesus, 'Rabbi, look, the fig tree you cursed has withered.'" So when we put these two together, we see that there is something missing in Matthew. We see that it goes boom, 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 but there's actually something in the middle that Mark shows us. That when Jesus said it, his disciples heard it, it became the next day, they saw the tree withered. So when it says in Matthew that when Jesus cursed the fig tree, it did happen immediately. It just wasn't able to see by the human eyes immediately, because as in Mark stated, so we're putting the two together, it was from the root. So Jesus, as stated previously, he's the ending and the beginning. Where the tree life begins is also where the tree life ends, from the root. So Jesus cursed it, and it began to wither from the roots, where us humans are not able to see visually from the outside. However, the next day, they were amazed to see that what he said the previous day, because it said that Peter remembered, actually came true. And that is how God works. I feel nowadays in society, we want things to be now. We want any type of decisions that we make, either it be good or bad, to reflect immediately. For example, we want to be blonde. Sometimes it takes a process for us to have that perfect blonde that we want, or that perfect hair color that we want, or we want a relationship to look the way that we want it, or we want something to look what we paid for, or what we gave in, or what sacrifice we made to look like that immediately. And that doesn't always work. Even if it does work, these are temporary changes that we constantly have to maintain and sacrifice and put money and time and effort, etc. God just wants you to start from the root. And I feel like God is the only thing that I can think of that starts from the inside out, where he doesn't want you to automatically just, or doesn't expect you to change on the outside to then work in. He wants you to work in, and slowly but surely your outside will start reflecting what is on your inside. A lot of people begin to think that just because we pray once, or that we talk to God once, or we do something one time, that we should already reap the benefits for it. And sometimes God does that. I mean, he loves you. He's not going to leave you hanging. But sometimes he needs you to put a little bit more effort in focusing on fixing your inside and fixing the root, which is your heart and your mind. When we come to God, we are transformed. We have a transformed mind. And many times there's a lot of people who don't understand what you're doing because they don't see any changes happening in your life. They don't see anything changing in you. But slowly but surely you will start showing and reaping the benefits of what you've sowed in the past, of what you've sowed from the root. Don't judge anybody by what they're going through. Don't judge anybody at whatever changes that they're doing. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to vouch for them. This is your life. This is your roots. Let God take care of it. As long as you water it, as long as you continue doing it every day, you're going to have such beauty that is going to be a permanent change in your life, that you're not going to have to constantly feel like you have to maintain it as far as showing something false to other people, because it's already going to be seen permanently through who you are. You don't have to change what you post on Instagram, or you don't have to change anything of that nature. It will just automatically show. Don't worry about what the world sees. Worry about who you are and how God is working in your life. God is permanent. The world is not permanent at all. Heaven and earth will pass away, but his word is forever. Let God work on the inside. Take that little pill and just let your hair do its natural course. If that's what you want to do, if it was possible to take that pill and just change your roots, God is that pill. Be patient, and you will see the results that you want to see, and it will come out on the outside without you doing or worrying about what's on the outside, as long as you worry about what's on the inside. Keep it pure, keep it good. And this is a perfect time right now. Usually it's in isolation that we are able to do these things. And right now we have the absolute amazing time where you are able to start doing these things in isolation because we're forced to. Pray within yourself in your room. Start journaling. Start focusing on what you want, who you want to be, how you want to show yourself, who you want to represent. And so when we come out of here, people will already see the change that you already have made and decided to do while we were in solitude. So what I took from this is, don't dye your hair. I'm kidding. But seriously, don't bleach it by yourself. Wait for salons to open. But more importantly, God starts at the root. Don't worry about what it looks to other people. Don't worry about if you making these changes are pushing people away. Don't worry about if your life isn't reflecting how you want it to reflect right now. One day it will. One day it will, but do not worry about it. Keep focusing on your root. Grow your root. Make sure your roots are showing, because God is working on it. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week. God bless. Bye! Is that good? Okay, get your baby hairs out of the way, girl. Cause you not baby no more. You are a grown woman. I could do whatever I want. Test, 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 test.